At approximately 11:15, the evacuation began, and at about 11:40, the evacuation train departed with the customers on board, taking them to their destination in Babylon. At about 4 a.m., we had the cars of the the trucks of the east car. The trucks are the support system for the equipment itself were re-railed. And just a quick update on the area itself. We worked through the night. I responded and was here during the night, and we've been working around the clock to get the equipment re-railed. We expect to have that complete hopefully sometime this morning. There was a piece of rail that was broken. That rail was last inspected yesterday, and that is in accordance with the Federal Railroad requirements. At this point, I'll take any questions. Oh, yes, okay.
Good morning. My name's Captain David Winding, W-I-N-D-I-N-G of the MTA Police Department. I'm the overnight duty captain. In regards to the first responders, dozens of first responders, including NYPD, MTA Police, MTA ESU, NYPD ESU, FDNY, and EMS, arrived on scene. We established a command center at the east end of tracks 7 and 8. We responded to the incident location, and we assisted with removing the passengers from the affected cars to the first 3 head cars to await a rescue train. While we were there with the passengers, we kept them informed as to the situation and what was going to be happening with the evacuation. Once the evacuation train arrived on scene, my officers, along with FDNY, NYPD personnel, assisted in safely removing those passengers and transitioning them onto the evacuation train. Once that evacuation train was full, it was removed and proceeded on to its final destinations. There were no reported injuries on scene or on the course of the evacuation train.
All right, your questions?
Yeah, so at this point, I'm not clear, do you know what caused the derailment?
I'll refer that to Rod.
So we will go through an exhaustive evaluation investigation process. We do know that there is a rail that was broken. We don't know whether that was a cause or an effect. We're just 11 hours into it, so our first priority is the safety and security of the passengers and employees, get the cars re-railed, get the infrastructure restored, restore service, and then we will begin our investigative process, and we will leave no stone unturned to find out exactly what happened.
The rail was inspected yesterday. Was that obviously before the derailment? Or
before the derailment. Yesterday afternoon.
Just coincidentally, it happened to have been inspected?
Yes.
How often does that rail get inspected?
Does
each rail get inspected?
That rail in this location is inspected weekly on Fridays.
And do you know about how fast the train was going at the time of the derailment?
Preliminary report was 13 miles an hour.
Mark, can you say now whether there's any reason to think that this will have an effect on the Monday morning commute?
We don't expect any impact to Monday morning commute, no.
Is it impacting the commute now? Is trains on time?
Trains, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And a couple of people were complaining about the communication. They were saying there's a lack of communication. They were on the train, they didn't know what was going on. Anything to be said to that?
I know the officer was quickly responded, so if you want to respond.
Yeah, as our officers were on scene, they did try their best attempts to keep everybody informed as to the situation that was going on at the time.
How old is that train?
Excuse me?
How old is that train?
I don't have the exact date, but the M7 to fleet is, the first cars were delivered in 2002, 2003.
Why does it take as long as it does to evacuate a train like that?
So when you have an incident like that, there's a couple of things. You have to de-energize power. In a place like Jamaica, that's a very complicated exercise. We have to get managers to the scene. We have to get first responders to the scene. We have to secure the scene, make sure everyone on board is safe. We have to determine what is the best means to get the customers off. In some cases, we will do a side-by-side evacuation where we will move customers, we'll bring a train alongside and move the customers to a train that's along the side. In this case, that was determined to not be the best way. So we had to bring a train on the other end. So now you have to take the train all the way to an eastern location and bring it in, and then you got to walk the customers through single file. So it just takes a while to evaluate, what's the status of the infrastructure, what's the best means to evacuate.
So the actual evacuation took how long? Time it means until the last person off the train?
That approximate time was approximately 2 hours, from my understanding.
The section of rail that's broken, approximately how long?
About 5 feet.
So seeing as we have a broken rail and we still have a disabled train that's there, how long before everything gets fixed and back to normal?
They are in the process of re-railing. We had gotten an update just before we got here that another car, the westernmost car, is re-railed. So we just have, I believe it's one truck at this, one truck left to re-rail. One truck, there's 2 trucks to a car. So we expect that sometime this morning, and then our track department will examine the infrastructure and make any repairs after the train is cleared from the area, and then we expect to restore service through that area shortly thereafter.
Any idea how long the track repairs might take?
Not at this point. I don't want to speculate.
All right, and then you were saying before that trains were running on time, but then you just said restore service through the area. So are there any impacts at all to service right now?
There is, all of our trains, we're running all scheduled service.
And then for a layperson, the truck is part of the
So the car body rests on 2 trucks. There's the front end and the back end. So there's 2 trucks per car.
Do they have wheels on those trucks?
It's wheels. Yeah, four axles. So there's 2 axles per truck, 4 axles per car.
Is there any indication of whether signals function properly and the engineer followed the signals properly here?
There's no indication of anything.
No indication of any human error?
No.
It was 2 out of 10 cars or 2 out of 8 cars?
2 out of 10 cars.
Thank you.
What was the demeanor of the passengers as you were getting them off? Friday night, they might have been out having a couple of pops. How were they?
All the passengers on board, according to the officers on scene, I was at the command center, were orderly.
All right, thanks. One more, Carol, your last question.
just put a little dent. So the train is still there and the broken rail is still there.
So there were 10 cars originally. The 8 easternmost cars were removed. I got here shortly after the incident. Those cars were cut away at about midnight, and they were sent to our Hillside facility. So the 8 eastern cars that did not derail were removed. What remains are the 2 cars that were derailed.
So evacuating the passengers on those cars required bringing in another train from the east to west on the same track?
Yes, that's correct.
And
Yes.
the passengers that were on the front 10, or the front 8, excuse me, did they stay on the train while it went to Hillside?
No,
They were
no,
evacuated.
they were evacuated, yes.
All right, thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Good to see y'all. Thank you.